Hey everybody, welcome into Fantasy Pros. This is Dan Harris coming to you live here. This is the Fantasy Football Podcast. No, it's not. It's Joey P. It's Joe P's a P. I'm taking these silly glasses off because I'm not Dan Harris, and that's me getting Dan back for making fun of my intros last time Family Feud. But the worm is turned. That's right. It's a little bit different story this time around because now Dan Harris is in the game. He is not the host. No. And I know everybody was so happy to have him back, but he might regret that because on the other side looming is the monster of the Midway, or I guess the Titan of Tennessee now, Mike Tagliere. So here we go. The Fantasy Feud is on. Dan Harris, let's start with you here and just kind of bring you in. I know you're knee-deep in baseball with me every single day of Fantasy Pros, and now you're trying to get up, all ready for your football season rankings, all this stuff. But Dan, that's Tags on the other side. All he does is this all day long. How are you feeling going into today?
Well, first of all, I'm a little thrown off that I apparently sound like a 1940s newscaster on the radio. If that impression is accurate,
welcome
my bad
in, everybody.
on that.
Here we go. It's going to be a great show for you.
We are. I should be calling horse races or something back in the, give me some Seabiscuit. Anyway, I think on my absolute best day, like my best day, I would lose to Tags by like 80 points in this game because Tags is the GOAT. So I have watched the movie Little Giants 6 times over the last 4 days just to get there that one time, right? Maybe Tags will beat me 99 times out of 100, maybe 999 times out of 1,000, but that still leaves one time. Will it be today? No, but I'm going to still try to do what I can and see where it goes. So I'm as ready as I'll ever be, which is not all that ready, but whatever. I'm here.
I am inspired. I love Little Giants. I am ready to go out there and beat those Cowboys right now. Take that, Ed O'Neill.
That's right.
Take that. Now, Tags, it's funny because I feel like all the pressure's on you now because he's basically set the stage, Dan, as basically, hey, look, that one time. And Tags, this is all you're doing is football. So if you lose to Harris, then you go into the losers bracket with Yates. I don't know how you feel about that. Are you feeling any pressure going into today's game?
Well, one, I might lose just so I can go against Yates so I can shut him up because I can't take it anymore. I can't listen to him anymore. However, I'm not going to let Dan win. My preparation was not as good as Dan's. I'll tell you how my preparation went. My daughter graduated this weekend, and then we took my son on the way back home. We stopped at this Air Force museum to see a bunch of fighter jets. He loves fighter jets. So then we get in the car, get back home. Sunday, we wake up, Tennessee Air Show's in town. We go to see the air show, so we're seeing fighter jets all over the place. We get back home, Daddy, I want to watch Top Gun. So I've watched Top Gun 3 times this weekend.
Wait a minute. How old is Jonathan? 5? 4. And he watched Top Gun?
He watched Top Gun.
Okay, first of all, what were his thoughts?
Well, the thoughts are he loves watching the fire coming out of the back of him. That's basically all he wants to see. He wants to see him take off the deck. He wants to see him land. Anytime they're talking, he didn't understand what they were being taught in a classroom. He's like, where are the jets? I want to see the fighter jets. He wants nonstop action. So he's typical for it.
Did he get when Goose died? Was it emotional for him? Because I haven't gotten over that yet. I mean, or did you fast forward past that part?
No, I did not fast forward through it. And my son's at the age where I had to take him to the cemetery to see my dad. And it was the first time he realized it. And he goes and he's like, do you remember when your daddy died? And every time we pass a cemetery now, he says that. And it's unfortunately, it's been a long time, so I don't get emotional all the time about it. But so anytime anyone even resembles death, he says, is he going to the cemetery? He calls it cemetery right now.
Oh, boy.
So that's where we're at with it. And I said, yeah, he did die. Because he's like, the plane crashed.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Tags, because you have now set up the most difficult transition ever in the history of podcasts.
My bad. I went to Goose. That's my bad. All right, everybody.
Jeez, from Top Gun to the cemetery, and now, hey, let's play a game of innocuous fantasy football nonsense.
My bad.
Wow.
My bad on that one. My bad. I'll take the L.
Dan's ruthless. He watched Little Giants. He's going to do his
It's true. But, in all fairness, sometimes he writes checks that his body can't cash. Let's all be aware of that. All right. I want to remind everybody, too, that Fantasy Pros Discord is open and ready to get in there so you can have conversations like this, if you dare, with Tags and Harris and myself at fantasypros.com/chat. Again, that's Discord. You can join for free at fantasypros.com/chat. But If you're part of our premium subscribers, you get the most out of Discord with the access to dozens of extra channels, including AMAs with all of us, where we could talk about fighter pilots and 80s movies and God knows whatever else. So that being said, I think it's time to get to the game, because I don't even know the last 10 minutes of this show what the heck just happened.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about some more relatives who have
No, I think we're good right now.
Good?
Thanks.
The Titanic sank like 100 years ago. We can talk about
any other rashes you have, Dan, that you want to talk about today?
I'm totally
suspicious moles, perhaps?
ready to get my butt kicked. Let's go.
All right, let's go. So we'll start with the head-to-head round here. And once again, this was a survey that went out to our Fantasy Pros peeps. And this is what the people think, not necessarily what you think, boys. So keep that in mind, and let's keep it clean as we possibly can. So I will do that first question. I will read it out loud, and you will say your name, not someone else's name. Say your name, or if you want to say Goose or Maverick, that is also fine. Dan, you would be Goose.
I would be
Clearly,
Goose without
Tags would be Maverick in this scenario. So we could go ahead and do that as well, but whoever I hear first, they will get the chance to respond first. So let us begin the head-to-head round of round 2 of the Fantasy Feud. The first question is, name a wide receiver whose inconsistency makes him frustrating to own.
Tags.
Goose.
That would be Tags.
Tags is so much easier than Maverick, by the way. Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett is the number one answer. Tags gets it on the board. All right, Tags, that is you. That is for 34 points. Do you want to play, or do you want to pass to Goose?
I'm playing for sure.
Oh, playing for sure. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Let's ask this question one more time. Let's see what your next answer is. Name a wide receiver whose inconsistency makes him frustrating to own.
Marquis Brown.
Marquis Brown is the last answer on the board for 4 points. There you go. You are doing well. You are 2 for 2. Tags, give me another wide receiver whose inconsistency just makes him so frustrating to own.
I'm going to say a player here that he should have scratched this. It should not even be on his resume anymore, but I think people still attach it to his name, so I'm going to say Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is the second answer on the board, but just for 10. So just so you know, Tyler Lockett was definitely the guy here in this category. So you got Lockett here, Amari Cooper, Marquis Brown. Do you have another answer here to give us that is not going to be an X?
I'm going to go with Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, oh my goodness. Dan, you might not get to answer in this game. I just want you to know this might be you just taking an hour break. I don't know how this is going to go.
I'm ready. It's okay.
But then again, Dan, think about this. You just need that one.
That's true.
That one answer to steal all these points. So
if it gets there, man, if it
even gets there, well, you got 2 left to get, and Taz, you got 3 strikes to do it. So who is a frustrating wide receiver to own? There was a lot of touchdown or bust weeks, so I'm gonna say Mike Evans from 2020. Mike Evans is correct. Man. That is another frustrating one. Oh my goodness, it's almost as though he has the answer.
I had like when it happened, I started like mentally making a list. He's just checking them off. It's terrible.
You've got one more.
To be fair, we play the game. We know who's frustrating to own. The one that I didn't think was going to be on there was Amari. I was hoping he wouldn't be on there because he was one of the most consistent receivers in fantasy last year. So was Fuller. So was Fuller, by the way. I'm gonna dig deeper on this one. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
I'm sorry, he is frustrating, but not enough to make the list. That is 1 strike for you, Tags, right now. So you still got 2 left with 1 to get, so the ratio's on your side. Give me a wide receiver that is frustrating to own.
Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool was indeed frustrating to own, but not according to all the people. So that is incorrect. You got 1-1 now, so I hope you have that other one ready to go here, Harris, because you might have a chance to steal.
I've got a few choices.
Let's go here for the marbles. Can you give me that last name here, Tags?
All right.
The wide receiver that's frustrating to own.
He's been frustrating over the last couple of years, is for sure. So I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster.
He has been frustrating, but not enough to the people. I'm sorry, that is 3. Perhaps your hubris might be too much after all. There's 1 answer remaining. Danny boy, it comes back to you. So, Goose, I want to know, you've been sitting in the cockpit here, you've been thinking, you made your list of names. Give me a wide receiver that you think has been frustrating to own in fantasy.
Well, Juju would have been my choice, Tag, to be fair. So that was a good guess. I am going to say that the people have taken Robert Woods.
All right, I want to give one more answer when you're done, Joe, so don't tell me the answer afterwards.
You're such an overachiever.
I just want to
really
I think I figured it out. You probably have
Dan Harris, I'm sorry. That is incorrect.
All right.
Not going to happen for you. Tags gets all the points. Go ahead, Tags. Give me the
Was it Sammy
the
Watkins?
other answer.
Was it Sammy Watkins?
No, it actually wasn't. Okay. It was somebody that you have a blind spot for. So I knew you weren't going to get this name because you still love this guy, and I am not as big of a fan as you. Does that help you with a hint?
Are you talking about Odell Beckham?
I am talking about Odell Beckham.
When he's
there you go.
Okay. When he's on the field, he's really good. So it's not. It's more like injuries have made him inconsistent.
That was terrible by me because originally I had like Odell, and then I was like, well, he was out, basically for last year, so I'm not going to really. Maybe he's not at the forefront on everybody's mind.
Well, I knew Tag. As soon as I saw these names, I knew Tags was not going to say Odell, and I thought maybe Harris could swipe this away, but. You got to trust your gut, Harris. Trust your gut.
My bad.
All right, so round 1 is in the books. That is 63 points over Tags.
63. Goodness. It was like 30 for you guys in the first couple of rounds.
Well, I mean, it's just...
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. What do you want?
It goes. All right, so let's move on now to the next question. Let's see if you can bounce back here. You got still a lot of game left to go.
Fine.
Name a quarterback that you think is undervalued at this point in the offseason. That would be Tags.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill is on the board, but he is the 4th answer.
Oh, no!
Harris. Now, this clearly happened before the weekend. I just want you to know this all went out. So maybe that would have been the right answer now, but not so much. Dan Harris, can you give somebody a quarterback that's being undervalued above Ryan Tannehill?
What number was Tannehill, by the way?
He was number 4 for 7 points.
I'll go with Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is the number 1 answer on the board.
Excellent.
Just like that.
Excellent.
Ooh-wee. Okay.
I just looked at he's number 11 in ECR right now. How is that undervalued?
It's what the people say.
What's Tannehill?
Tannehill's 13.
Okay. That is undervalued, to be fair. That's absolutely correct. Okay. I'm going to play.
You're going to play it out?
I need to be able to at least play here with this whole thing. Okay. So, all right. Top 6, Joey?
Top 6. There 1, 2. You have got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 names remaining here.
I really have to pull up ECR.
Okay, so give me a quarterback that is undervalued after this offseason.
I will go with Joe Burrow.
That is the number 2 answer. Okay. Ooh, my goodness. It's like Goose is getting ready to get cooked. All right, next one here. Dan Harris, can you give me a 3rd quarterback in a row? You still got all your strikes remaining. What's it going to be, Dan?
3D reverse chess I'm trying to do here with this.
I will overthink it.
I'll try not to. I will go with, before the trade, I will go with Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan is not on the board, unfortunately. That is strike number 1.
It's okay.
You still got plenty left in the tank here. All right, give me a quarterback, Dan, who is being undervalued this coming off season.
I will go with Tua. Tua
is correct. He is the last one, but it's 5 points nonetheless for you. So you got that on lockdown. So let's go, Dan Harris. Can you do it?
How many answers left?
Run the table. You've got 2 answers left and 2 strikes left. So the margin for error is thin.
Okay. I will go with Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is not. Good answer.
Thanks.
He is not one of these quarterbacks that's listed here by the people.
Okay.
2 quarterbacks remain. 1 strike remains.
Okay.
Can you do it?
I'm going to go with Justin Herbert.
I'm sorry, Justin Herbert is not undervalued.
Okay.
So that is 3 strikes. You are out. Tags, this is yours to steal here. Can you do it? Can you name one of the 2 remaining quarterbacks that's being undervalued this offseason in the NFL?
Oh, I have 2 guys it's down to right now, and it's like trying to decide which one I want to go with is tough.
You've had a lot of time to think about this.
I'm going
to
to
complain about everybody else getting time.
Very much complain about everybody else.
It's a lot of hemming and
you guys are talking now. I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Trevor Lawrence.
No, Trevor Lawrence is not
the other guy. It's going to be the other guy. The other guy's going to be on there.
Who's the other guy?
It was Kirk Cousins.
No, he's not on there either. It's Carson Wentz with the 3rd spot with number 8 points, and Ryan Fitzpatrick with 5. So there you have it.
Interesting.
Look
I
at
thought
that.
maybe about Wentz, but just from so much anger, right, last year, Tags, did you just hear about how much fantasy managers hated Wentz? We're so angry that I can't imagine they're coming in and being like, hey, I want to take my shot with that guy despite the trade. So that's why I didn't go there. Okay. All right.
There you go. and as we take a quick break here, if we may, I want to remind everybody, if you've been keeping up with our content here, you'll know that we're huge fans of Underdog Fantasy and some exciting contests that have been going on right now. Atop the list is Best Ball Mania 2 tournament, the biggest best ball contest in history with $3.5 million in total prizes, a ridiculous $1 million prize to first. And for you basketball fans, they've also got contests running throughout the NBA playoffs. So head over to Underdog Fantasy, use the promo code FantasyPros, and you'll receive a free contest entry with your first deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code FantasyPros. Claim your entry today. Let's get to the next question here. There's a lot of moving parts to the fantasy feud. I just want people to understand.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
You don't understand. Dan Harris understands. Tags has no idea. He just goes and gives brilliant answers to everything. All right, next here on the questions. Question number 3. Name a running back that you're willing to reach for in 2021 drafts. Tags.
He buzzes in before the
You can buzz in.
You can buzz in anytime.
You can buzz in after the first 2 words, and he stops the question.
Fine.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is the number 1 answer. Tags, do you want to pass or play?
Play.
All right, so you've got a few other running backs here that you can name. Name one of them that you think is worthy of a reach.
How many answers are on the board, actually?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6
total.
answers on the board. 6 totals for all of these questions here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna assume that the people that answered this are taking my advice and saying Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
That is true. Everyone listens to you quite a bit. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the second answer on the board. But who is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th?
All right. Now I'm going to start to follow, because I haven't really advocated for a bunch of other guys to reach for.
It's not all about you, Tags. I just want to throw that out
calm
there.
down. I'm going to go where the truthers are. I'm going to find out. I'm going to basically say there's a lot of guys that tell me that I'm off on this guy, so they're going to reach for him. It's Cam Akers.
Cam Akers is correct. You are a man of the people after all. Very nice. Very nice. So Cam Akers, the number 4 answer for 7 points on the board. You've got 3 strikes left and 3 players remaining.
There's other truthers out there for this guy. Another second-year running back, Antonio Gibson.
Antonio Gibson is correct. Now you have 3 strikes and 2. That is good for 7 points. The 3rd, tied with Cam Akers' answer on the board. 2 more remaining. Tags. Can you get them?
Oh, I hope so.
Running backs worth a reach in 2021.
All right. Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon is correct. Number 6 answer on the board for 6 points. 1 more. You got all your strikes. Don't choke like you did last time on the Odell Beckham one.
Wow, calm down.
Still won. I mean,
calm down.
Come on, Dan. I'm trying to throw him off a little bit for you. I gotta
fine.
get in his head
I want the best. All right.
All right. So I'm gonna go with the guy that, again, my top 10 running back list came out and people yelled at me about this guy. So Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor is not on there, but yes,
good.
Everyone did yell at you, which is true.
They did.
I saw all the yelling.
All right. You know what? Let's go with the guy that Joe's been propping up quite a bit. Let's go with Travis Etienne.
No, good one, but no, he is actually not. Travis Etienne, I'm reaching for, but everyone's slow on the uptake.
Was one of the guys on my list. Tags was one of the guys on my list.
All right. I would have been, you know what? In all fairness, you would have been on my list as well. Tags, you got 1 strike left. Boy, those strikes sure do go fast sometimes. So
They
you got
do.
1 more left to go. Dan Harris over there, sitting, waiting, hoping that you get this wrong. Give me last running back that is worthy of a reach in people's minds in 2021.
So tough. I think I'm gonna go down the board a little bit here. I'm gonna say Trey Sermon.
No, it is not Trey Sermon. Another good one, though. Another one of my guys. I like these late running backs. Take some shots on some dudes, see what hits.
It's
the way to go.
Yeah.
Harris, here you go, buddy. You have now 1 name left here for the running back that it's okay to reach on in 2021. Can you give me this name?
I have a few names. I'm going to go with one. I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins is incorrect. I am so sorry, Dan Harris. It was so close. Another good answer,
Thanks.
but unfortunately incorrect. That means that 55 points go over to Tags. Not good. Not a good look.
Not a good.
All right.
Not a good. This is not good. This is going to be better. Austin Eckler was the last name.
I was debating him. Okay.
I was debating him
last
too.
name.
Yeah.
Well, too bad nobody said him.
Yeah,
You can
that's
take
true.
all those debates and throw them out the window.
I figured it was going to be somebody. I was kind of looking in the 10 to 18 range in my ranking. So, right, it was like there's Mixon, Akers, Harris, Dobbins, Gibson, Eckler. And I was like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, that's fair. Very fair.
All right.
This is where we quintuple the points, right?
This is quintuple would be the absolute proper nomenclature for what we're going to need to do, but that's okay. Look, I like playing it out for real. That's what I like to do personally. Tags, if you would like to throw Dan Harris a bone, I will let you in this fourth question if you want to play for double the points or you want to keep it as is. It's up to you. I will let you run this show.
I mean, typically what happens in Family Feud is that you would get the first 2 rounds. I think it's the third round is double the points. So
yeah,
we could do that. Yeah,
we usually, and to be fair, and I'm not advocating for it because frankly, Tags deserves to win this. Tags is the GOAT regardless. But usually we do double the last round for points. I didn't with you guys because doubling it might have completely...
Dan, when Pisapia was on here as a guest, we actually like tripled his points.
Tagliere.
You tripled his points? Yeah.
We tripled his points.
I'll double because I'll double.
All right, let's move on to this last question. This could really change the dynamic. I've doubled all the points.
I'm not even going to bother ringing it. I'm going to let Tags just rename after 6 words.
The first word I say, he's just going to say Tags.
It's okay, I don't mind. All
right, name a play. You should just say Dan before I even start. All right, ready? Here we go.
No.
Name a player you think hit his absolute fantasy peak in 2020. Tags.
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery is on the list, but he is the 4th person on the list. Good for 16 points. His absolute peak. Could somebody, Dan Harris, have hit a higher peak that will never get back to the top of this mountain?
Oh boy! So it's any player. It's not a running back. You said
any player, a fantasy player.
Oh god!
That has hit their peak in 2020. Can you do better than David Montgomery?
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is on the list, but unfortunately he is the last one. He is number 8. Tags, you have control of the board. Do you want to let Dan Harris talk today at all, or you want to just keep going?
Wait, y'all think Stephon Diggs peaked? He didn't finish number 1?
Y'all think that? Is that what y'all think?
All right, I'm playing.
I think Tags is getting a little saucy here.
I'm playing.
I love it.
Right,
you guys are bananas, Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs.
Now. All right, Tags is not happy.
Chill out. Go ahead.
With the people
Stephon Diggs has an Antonio Brown ceiling. He really does.
I'm not going to fight you on this, but this is what the people say, not what you or I say.
All right.
It's the general consensus. So name another player that peaked in 2020. Tags, you got 3 strikes, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players left to go.
If this is not the number 1 answer, now that I've had time to think about it, I'm going to punch someone. James Robinson.
I would have liked to have seen you try to punch somebody, but it is the number 1 answer.
It better be.
The virtual punching. I don't know where that's going to happen or how that happens. But if you want to, you can find him on Twitter and you can get a virtual punch from Tags anytime you like. All right, give me another one here. You got 3 more on the board.
All right. So now that we don't even know if this fella's going to have a quarterback. Obviously a big
fella. You talk about me sounding like an old-time news announcer? Oh, but this fella.
All right.
This boy sure might not have someone to throw the ball to.
I'm going to go Robert Tonyan.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is not what the people said, so that is not on the board.
Answer,
so that is
Tags.
a big old X.
Very good answer.
So you got 2 strikes and 3 names remaining.
I'm gonna stick with the tight end. I'm gonna go Logan Thomas.
You love these tight ends, but unfortunately, they do not love you back.
How dare you?
Come on.
I take that as a personal shot. All right?
That's your guy.
How dare I'm not. I'm walking off. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Oh, well, by looking at the scoreboard, one might have thought that happened already.
Who cares? I'm not even here anyway, so.
All right.
Let's go to number 3. You got one more here. Dan, look.
I'm working on
one
it.
name here.
This is actually a very good, this is a really
Who hit their
question.
peak? It doesn't get any better than 2020 now for this player. Who is it, Tag?
This is a different type of answer.
Try not to name a tight end, by the way. I think you're kind of going in the wrong place here.
Well, I don't know if you want to give me that advice. Hold on. No, to be fair though, I'm going to give the answer that I was going to give all along. Like here is that it's out of the box because he can't top it because he broke a freaking record. Travis Kelce broke records last year. That was the peak of his performance. It's not getting better than that.
So Travis Kelce is your answer, eh?
Yes.
Your love affair with tight ends is not going to pay off here, my friend. So that is a 3rd strike. So no, it's the people still love Travis Kelce.
Oh man, I'm an angry elf now.
Harris, this is it, baby. This is big time for you. Right here, you can take the points that are on this board. All you got to do is give me one name who hit their peak last year. It can't possibly get better, for whatever reason people might think. Dan Harris, who is that person?
Oh God, I hate this answer. I have 2. But I'm going to give one. I'm going to go
with your gut.
Miles Gaskin.
No, it is not Miles
Was
Gaskin.
Mike Davis on the list? Because Mike Davis was the other
No,
one.
stop naming names now.
Was Nelson Aguilar on the list?
No, stop it.
Was it tight end on the list? Was it?
At least you know you weren't close.
Curtis Samuel? Curtis Samuel, was he?
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel is not on the list. You guys want to do this all day, or should I
just
tell
go
you?
ahead.
Just
I
tell
wanna know
us.
the names,
Just
though.
tell us.
All right. The remaining names with number 2, by the way, answer on the list. 22 points for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. People think it doesn't get any better. Everyone's talking about, he can't do it anymore. It's not good. Of course he can. He's Derrick Henry. He's a monster.
I despise that. I love our listeners and everybody who responded, but I despise that answer. Go ahead.
I despise that answer too. And if you hate that one, you're going to hate the next one too, because the next one's Alvin Kamara. That is also another one that is...
Kamara is at least a little fair, I guess.
That one I think is good.
You know what's
fair.
You know what's funny? This is not at all to do with the game, but why? So Aaron Jones, people are talking about him like, oh, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, he's going to fall in the rankings. Why, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, all hell breaks loose and Aaron Jones sucks, whereas Drew Brees retires and Alvin Kamara doesn't drop in the rankings at all?
It's a good question.
Well, he dropped. Where do you have him, Tags?
Who?
Not to get off topic.
Kamara's top 5
I RB6.
Okay.
Yeah, 6.
But I still have Aaron Jones at RB7. So.
Yeah.
Well, you and I have Aaron Jones higher than most people because
I have him at 7 too. I have Kamara at
Aaron
5.
Jones is good at football last time I checked.
He is.
Alvin Kamara is
Anyway.
actually the number 5 answer for 10 points. The one you guys missed, and this is another one, blind spot too. You want to talk about guys maybe being there, not being there. Devontae Adams, people thought hit the peak last year.
You know,
and it couldn't get any better. Which
is-
I kind of wonder, maybe they're right.
year.
Maybe it couldn't get better.
Look,
because that was very good.
I mean,
but he ain't done.
I went
think
with
that's the difference.
I went with Diggs, right, for my first answer, and then it was sort of like, okay, Diggs, obviously, just completely exploded, changed the entire Buffalo offense. But now we're just picking outstanding players and being like, well, it's got to get worse. That's again.
That's why I didn't like the Diggs answer.
Despise.
That's why, yeah, for sure.
All right, so now what we got to do is get to the fast money round, I believe. So remind me, who goes first here with the
You're the host, man.
You pick.
Well, I
first.
don't know.
You
is there
just decide.
a protocol?
No, because we're not on the same team. We can both give the same
Right.
answer, so it really doesn't
So
matter.
it's irrelevant.
Okay, very good. All right, before we get into that, I just want to go through another read here that we've got for Omaha Steaks, because let me tell you something. I got sent the Omaha Steaks. I love me the Omaha Steaks. Look, summer is here. Forget it. It's 90-something degrees last weekend. It is definitely here, and that also means Father's Day is around the corner. So if you go to omahasteaks.com, type Fantasy Pros into the search bar, and order Dad the Get Out and Grill assortment, which I love. I'm a grilling connoisseur. Everybody knows that. Right now, this package is 59% off. It includes 20 entrees. He's guaranteed to love, like the ultra juicy burgers, the plump chicken breasts. It's got sides, desserts, and 4 10-ounce butcher's cut New York strips. These strips are aged for 30 days, and that's why that they just taste so damn delicious. Age equals tenderness, which is why Dan Harris is so kind, because he's so
Those
old
apple
and so
tartlets.
tender.
Oh.
I know, that's what I hear. That's the only thing I haven't gotten to. The apple tartlets are still in the freezer, and you keep telling me about the apple tartlets, so I'm going to have to bust those out.
You know what I
eventually.
think of, by the way, sorry to interrupt. You know what I think of?
No, that's fine.
I think of, we're obviously fans of The Office on Pretzel Day, when Stanley's like, I go to bed in a bed that's too small, and I wake up, blah, blah, blah. But on Pretzel Day, I like Pretzel Day. That's how I feel when Omaha Steaks arrives, right? I'm like, what a terrible day. This is the worst day of my life. Then I'm like, ding dong. I'm like, Omaha Steaks.
Omaha Steaks are here.
Omaha Steaks Day. So, yeah.
Well, not only do you get all that stuff, but you also get 4 free New York strip burgers with your order. It's selling out fast, so don't wait. Don't miss out. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak, okay, but it is the best steak of your life. So visit omahasteaks.com, keyword Fantasy Pros, get Dad the Get Out and Grill assortment, plus 4 New York strip burgers for 59% off today. Send Dad more than just a gift. Send him an experience that he'll love and can share with you. So you buy the Dad all the Omaha Steaks, then you go over and say, Dad, I'm coming over. Why don't you grill and we'll have some beers and hang out. That's what it's all about. So make sure you get that done before he ends up in the cemetery, which is, time where you want to spend together. I was trying to bring everything full circle, and now we're back low again, which I'm going to have to pull us out of here. But Dan Harris, since I feel like you haven't talked much in this episode or answered much, why don't you go first?
Sure.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do a little fast money with you.
All right.
Okay? So you got a bunch of answers here on the board.
Okay.
And
Tags,
we'll
I
see
assume
how well you
you're
do.
taking out your headphones.
Yeah, Tags
moving on?
got...
All right. We'll message you when you're ready to come back.
Dan will do it. I'm doing too many things.
I'll do it.
I got like 7 different things I got to do here.
I messaged Yates, but
well, you're a better man than me.
No, I'm not.
All right.
And anyway, I'm ready. Okay, sorry.
All right, here we go. So, Dan Harris.
Yes.
Are you ready to start the fast money round?
Not really, but let's go.
All right, let's try it anyway. In what round do you usually make your first risky pick of the draft?
5th.
5th. Okay. What percent of the total prize pool should the winner receive in a standard redraft league?
75%.
75%. What is the largest number of teams you'd be comfortable having in a fantasy football league? Largest number of teams you'd be comfortable
16,
having in a fantasy football
16.
league. 16. From which NFL team are you least likely to draft a player this year?
The Jets.
The Jets. How many weeks prior to the start of the NFL season do you finish your first mock draft? How many weeks prior to the start of the NFL season do you finish your first mock draft?
2. That's not me. That's what I think they'll say. 2.
That's what you think they'll say. All right, let's see how you did. Okay, risky picks.
Dan you had tiring it up now until the end?
I'm going to say which ones you got. And, do you wait for both of them? Is that what you want to build?
You are the host, Joe. You do
I didn't know I had that option.
I did it with you and Yates. I waited till the end. I'm so ahead of the game. I had abacus it out. Whatever you want,
You did
Joe.
abacus it out. You know what? I don't have the abacus, but you know what? I like your style. I want to be consistent. It's my first time as the host, and this is a very big deal for me. It's, I want to make sure I do it right. So let's message Tags and bring him back in.
Here, I messaged him. He's coming back in. Here he comes. Coming back in. Yeah, I forgot. The pressure. God.
The pressure, it's enormous, isn't
pressure. It's a lot of it coming here.
Tags, are you ready to deal with the pressure that is the fast money round?
Oh, of course. This is like my favorite part of Family Feud when I watch it. It's like
it is. It is a good time. There's no doubt about that. All right, so Tags. Dan Harris gave some very good answers. I believe them to be pretty solid. I don't know if it's enough to make up the ground.
Might not be.
We shall see. Perhaps you fall on your face completely. I don't know. We'll
just
find out.
Want to cover the spread. That's all.
Covering the spread.
Yep.
Covering the, was it minus 420? Was that the
438, but close
438.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, Tags, here we go. Okay. In what round do you usually make your first risky pick of your fantasy draft?
5th round.
5th round. What percent of the total prize pool should the winner receive in a standard redraft league?
75%.
75%. What is the largest number of teams you'd be comfortable having in a fantasy football league?
I think the answer is 12.
Which NFL team are you least likely to draft a player from this year?
The Houston Texans.
How many weeks prior to the start of the NFL season do you finish your first mock draft?
How
many weeks prior to the NFL season do you finish your first
8 weeks
mock draft? 8 weeks. All right, there we go. So let us begin. Let us try to tally these up here and see where the chips fall. First risky pick. Neither of you got the number 1 answer, but both of you said round 5, which is good enough for number 2, but unfortunately for Dan Harris, that is not going to be good enough to gain any ground because you both said the same thing.
Okay.
The number 1 answer, by the way, was 4, so people a little bit more risky than you think out there. Any surprise there with that?
I think 4 or 5 is probably pretty around. I mean, I think for me, Tags, I'm very boring and safe and risk averse, so 5th is really the first time where I'm willing to stick my neck out at all.
For
but
sure,
I understand people going for it.
because typically there's like, I would say that there's like usually like 35 to 40 players that you feel like really comfortable with, like that you just know they're going to be performers. So that's why I was thinking 5th round, because it was just like, all right, usually when you have 4 players in your roster, those guys should be safe, and then you could take a risk on your wide receiver 3 or whatever you want.
Ditto.
All right, let's see how much the champion should get of the lion's share, the winning share. You both said 75%, when we have ranges here. And that was the number 1 answer for 36. And you both said that too. So look at you guys, just like brothers. At the end of the day, you all came back together, even though, once again, Dan Harris, you were right, but not right enough,
doesn't matter.
Unfortunately.
It's all pride at this point, baby.
It's all pride. But at least you know you got some answers.
That's right.
That's what you need to do. All right. Max number of teams people feel comfortable with in a league. Dan Harris, you said 16.
Yep.
That is good for number 3.
Okay.
But unfortunately not good enough. The number 1 answer is 12, which is what Tag said. So
conservative, people. All right, come on, get a little bold.
No, dude, have you
Most people are uncomfortable.
Yeah, have you ever tried to convince your home league to stretch it out to like we started as a 10 team to get to 12 was an obstacle. To get to 14, they'd be like, absolutely not.
First of all, to make any change in a league that's been run in like a home league that's been run for more than a year, you have to basically like draft a constitution to figure out how to do it because nobody will do it. I understand. 12, fine. And 12 is the most fun. I enjoy it. But if you get a little crazy, go a little deeper.
Get a little crazy. Get a little nuts. All right. Let's see. What team do you want no part of in 2021? Self-loathing Jet fan Dan Harris said the Jets, which is good for number 2 on this list with 12 points. Very good. Of course, a very good answer there for him. But it was not good enough, unfortunately. The number 1 answer, clearly, the Houston Texans. It is a complete disaster over there. 46. So this is getting.
I couldn't get off it when you said it. I was like, I got it. I mean, the game was over. I was like, it's got to be the Jets, which is true. I will not. Although there are a couple intriguing pieces, but for me, I will draft a Texan before a Jet just for this year, just so you know.
All right. So the last question is, you got to be specific on the wording here. How many weeks prior to the start of the NFL season do you finish your first mock draft? Now, this is an interesting one. Harris said 2 weeks, which was not good. It was 3. 3 people said that. So that's the people are working.
I thought 2 months, so I said 8 weeks.
8 weeks is actually the third answer.
Wow.
Good for 8 points. More than 8 weeks, because this is Fantasy Pros, and this is how we roll. These people are doing them in January. Okay, 65.
Oh, my.
There you go. Everything else was single digits. This was one where you could have made up ground and been respectable.
More than 8 weeks was the number 1 answer?
More than 8 weeks, 65. The next answer was 4 with 8. And 8 weeks with 8.
Okay, so
unbelievable.
This completely makes up for the horrific responses to that 4th question about who was their career year. Because if you guys are drafting more than 8 weeks out, I love all of you. You are brilliant. You are doing things correctly. I completely underestimated you. I was like, well, most casual people, they start mocking like a few weeks before the season. They get really into it. Then they go crazy and they do 10,000 mock drafts in our mock simulator. You guys are drafting more than 8 weeks out. Kudos to you. You guys are right. My bad on criticizing you for that 4th question. Well done. Did I make it up, Joe? Did I make up the ground to catch tags? Because I feel like I might have, right? Maybe?
You covered the spread.
All right, I covered the spread. I will take it. The
final tally here is Tags 326.
Okay.
Danny Boy 119.
Okay,
so
I triple digits, everyone.
Triple digits.
Hey.
He also he didn't double you up, so it wasn't like, oh my goodness, you know.
I didn't
what? And you know what? More to the point.
Tripled me up.
More to the point. If you think about it,
I did more than double him up.
Way more than double. Joe. Get your abacus out.
No, he did.
We learned earlier that Joe is not a math whiz.
I want to reach out.
Honestly, it's not. My lack of math skills right now is really just the distraction of how hot it is in this office in the afternoon. I am like sweating, but it's 100 degrees. I can't put the fan on there because it messes with everything with the sound, and I'm trying to go back and forth.
One sec. I'm writing a note.
150 times 2 is 350. So there you go.
150 times 2 is not 350, but that's fine. I'm making a note.
I'm joking. I'm doing a joke.
I'm making a note to myself.
150 times 2 is 300.
For Christmas by Joe and Abacus. Done. You're good. We'll be fine next time. Don't worry. You're good. No, Abacus, dude. That's the way it's at. All right. Can't make a mistake. You're fine.
Oh, who makes mistakes here? Nobody makes mistakes in the fantasy community. Everybody knows that.
That's right.
But wait a minute. You know, you didn't double him up. He had 326. 119 plus 119 is 238.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean he way more than doubled me up? Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
All right. Yeah. Not buying it. All right. Look, all I know is that what I think at this point.
I was setting up the bid.
In mid-June or early June, mid-June, wherever we are. I think this score is very appropriate, extremely appropriate. Now, if I get a chance to take tags on again, and we do it, let's say, in like late July, August, I believe that I can cut this deficit to within 120 points, okay? So I'm going to put that out there, okay? Just saying. Just saying.
But again, it wasn't exactly doubled up.
All right. Keep trying to save yourself, big man. You're
I'm trying to save myself. I'm trying to... Honestly, it's hilarious. I'm just trying to move all these numbers and these pieces around.
By the way,
that
is the most difficult part of scoring.
Honestly,
right?
Harris, it kind of is. Like trying to make sure I got that right score from this thing and put it there and do all this stuff. And I got it in the spreadsheet, and it still screwed me up anyway. It's
incredibly difficult, and I can say that you did it like 25% as well as I did it. I'm just going to put that out there.
Easily, which is twice as good as Tags.
It doesn't matter. If the dude's never going to get a question wrong, he could not know how to do math. It doesn't matter to me. But he does his job extremely well.
My wretched math skills and how hot it is because the AC is not working currently in the house and it's 92 degrees outside. All that aside, Harris, you did have 2 opportunities here to turn the tide of this game.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham.
Yes.
And one of those other quarterbacks, Carson Wentz or Fitz. You had a couple, even Eckler, right? I mean, you had a couple spots here.
No,
really
the
just one
quarterbacks,
name here and there.
wasn't that one?
Oh, no, the quarterbacks was yours.
No, the big
Eckler
one.
And Odell, those were the 2.
Well, for Odell, totally on me. And actually, it was I had thought about it, initially thought of Odell. Kind of was like, maybe not because he didn't play last year, but didn't write it down and then just forgot by the time we got to it because Tags answered 17 in a row correctly. But also the last one about who had their career year, I wasn't in the minds of the people responding, right? I wasn't. I was like, who was crappy and probably never going to be that way again? That's where I was, as opposed to who was absolutely dominant and may not quite reach the level of dominance that they were. So just an error on me. None of it would have made a difference. Tags is the GOAT. If he didn't win this one, I would have protested anyway, so I'm fine with the result. I love Tags. I hope he wins the whole tournament. I hate to say it, Joe, you're in it, but I hope Tags wins the whole tournament because he deserves it.
Wow, thanks, Dan.
That's true.
Right
I speak the truth. He's the GOAT.
That's fine. No, that's fine. I mean, you got any trophy
I love
smack
Dan.
you want to hold up there?
This is why I love Dan.
I'm honest.
Everybody loves
I'm honest. I'm very honest. Tags is the GOAT. I can hold up my trophy smack stuff. It's like a loser belt.
I don't know if you. Well, you can, but
right.
if you go to fantasypros.com/shop,
here we go.
Obviously, you get a free $59 ring with the purchase of a trophy or belt, and that's thanks to our friends at Trophy Smack, which is some pretty cool stuff there. Everybody's got their Trophy Smack. Actually, while we were doing this, the AC guy just called, and that is very exciting. So I'm going to go back to him because, like I said, we got all the lights on, all these things, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you would like to make a donation to the Send Joey P Back to Math Class Fund, you could do that. Use the code FANTASYPROS. I'm doing my best here to manage it all, and I was an abject failure today, keeping score. And luckily, I get to eventually take on I have to take on Tags now. Is that what happens?
I'm not in charge.
You go to the losers' lounge with Yates? I'm not sure how this works now.
How this works. All I know is that you guys are going to need a host if you ever play together, and I'm ready.
A host that can add, because clearly it's not me. But I did add up all the numbers right. I'm literally going to pass out.
The best part is, even if you were wrong, you'd have to make an error of just unprecedented calculation to have it matter in this matchup.
But you know what even the best part is that our poor video producer Chris is going to have to try to follow around and keep changing these numbers back and forth. And I'm sure that is going to be his living hell.
It's a test.
And that's
going to be the greatest.
It's a test. This is a test for you. Chris is
so
the best.
You know what? At the end of the day, it was all worth it. Yeah. So there you have it. All right. I want to remind everybody, too, while you're at it, don't forget about not only just Trophy Smack, but also Underdog Fantasy. Best Ball Mania 2 going on. Make sure you get involved. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code FantasyPros. And don't forget the Omaha Steaks. It's the Father's Day package. Come on, go to omahasteaks.com, and they've got the most incredible package, 59% off right now. You got all the entrees. The Get Out and Grill assortment can be yours for Father's Day. And my goodness, speaking of grill, it's time to flip me around because I am done. I am overdone. I'm jumping in the pool right after this show. That is it. I am out. Dan Harris, well done, my friend.
Thank you.
Good job. You tried your best, and even though it was a failure, we still love you anyway. You'll still be the most well-liked person here, and that's because we all work for you. Sure. And Tags, congratulations on moving on. How do you feel beating up on somebody that didn't have a chance?
I mean, an old man you beat up on.
Yeah. I mean, Will.
And remember, that's why he's tender. Age equals tenderness. I learned that from Omaha State.
And Dan had a long weekend with laser tag and whatnot, so I mean, I can't fault him for that. So Dan, what I want you to do though, however, and if you need help preparing, I'll be here for you, buddy.
I'm ready.
I need you to spank Yates in the loser bracket.
I will. That I will be. I am like right on the precipice of turning the page from baseball. Still be there for our baseball listeners. From baseball to football, and then I'm going to take Yates, and I'm just going to destroy him. There you go.
There you go. I like it. There's your trophy smack talk right there. All right, that'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Tags and Dan Harris, I'm delirious and overheated. I'll see you next time, kids. Hope you enjoyed the feud.